What's up, everybody? It's Doc Fortune, just playing some daily TF2, talking about some of the things that I'm interested in and what's coming out. So, we're just going to dive right in. I'm going to capture the flag. We'll leave everything else checked and we'll just see what we get. So, I still watch a lot of channels and replays for the original Dawn of War, which they call Definitive Edition now. It's kind of the old original Warhammer 40k RTS Dawn of War, but it's been fixed up, souped up. They've rebalanced things. They've, made it a little bit more user friendly. It's still kind of rough as far as RTS goes. Like, your units don't have portraits along the side that you can click on. It's kind of an old style of looking around the map. Maybe some people are used to it. I'm not. I'm used to having much more modern ways to kind of shuffle around. And nevertheless, I still played Dawn of War Definitive Edition, the first sort of entry in the series, more than any of the other games. I have Dawn of War 2 as well, and I've played it quite extensively. This guy wouldn't stop fucking with us, but it's just pre-match. Let's see if we can go find him. And the competition's beginning. I didn't get a chance to fill his stupid fucking head full of needles. So I was practicing up. I still watch replays of people playing high-level matches of Dawn of War. It always seems like it's not real. It always seems like they're too nice to each other and they let each other build up and they don't really, like, whenever I play online matches, there's never just a fucking guy letting me build up, or the teams don't ever just play and get their armies built up and go at each other. That's kind of like the fun thing that most people expect an RTS to be, right? Like, you sort of take a little bit of time, you build up all your cool armies, and then you throw them at each other and you see who wins. But that's not really how multiplayer works in practice. Like, in practice, they take all their annoying little level 1 units and they come and fuck with you and mess with you and harass you and molest you and you're dealing with all that shit while they just, build up their economy and stuff in the background and slowly out-tech you. And the only way to get around that is to do it to them. You have to kind of rush them and harass them, and then, if two people sort of, fight it out, and nobody wins that first initial wave of bullshit, then you can maybe kind of get, like, what is a normal game, or what you would expect to be a normal game, where you have a variety of units that are sort of vying for control of the battlefield and so forth. So I like to watch those replays, but they seem fake. Like, they're not, but they seem like they're playing too nice for normal. Like they're letting each other play the game too much. Whereas people that you play online will not give you an inch. You're going to deal with every kind of fucking cheese that you can, right from Jump Street. So it's cool to watch those replays. I don't know if people do different things, or they have different sort of rules or customs, or if I just don't understand high-level play of the game. But I played a bunch of matches last night, and one of the hardest matchups, I always play Eldar. So we're kind of like the space elves of the 40k setting. One of the hardest matchups is the Tau, because they have invisible stealth units right off of the bat. It's real fucking annoying to deal with. You can get, as Eldar, you have like one of the earliest detection units in the game in the form of the Warlock, because your starting squad from your very first building the webway assembly as a guardian squad, and they can be led by a warlock, and warlocks grant vision. Eldar are very psychic, and it's frustrating the amount of things that don't fucking grant vision in this game. Like, why does a warlock grant vision, but a Farseer, their strongest psyker, doesn't? Like, that shit doesn't make any sense to me. So, basically, any kind of psyker unit, I think, should be able to see invisibility. But that's neither here nor there. The Eldar were nerfed a lot in Dawn of War in the recent patches, but I've still seen them kick the shit out of other races, so they weren't nerfed that hard. Whatever it is, it's like you can't. The thing that you used to do with the Eldar is you would sort of mass Dark Reapers. Trying to beat that guy to death with my bust of Hippocrates or whatever it is. I'm getting fucked with lag, so it's getting tough for me to move, but yeah, fortunately, I don't need that much movement. God, I can't walk. Go, goddammit. So, yeah, so I played a bunch of factions on the harder. There's standard, hard, harder, and insane, I think. And the difference being is that it sort of cheats and gives you... God damn, I wish I could just stop lagging for 1 fucking second. It's so fucking frustrating because I'm just... If you see me standing still doing nothing like a complete idiot, that's why. Because I can't fucking move. Schmoopy killed me. That's my nickname for my sweet little doggy. How could you, Schmoopy? Getting carried by the team here. So, I played several matches as Eldar against a harder computer. So it's a step below the hardest setting. The reason I don't play on insane is, like, it doesn't... The computer's not stronger just because you... Or smarter or better at playing the game. It doesn't utilize any better tactics or any of that shit. When you raise the difficulty, all it does is just give you... It gives the computer free resources. So they can build more shit, make more mistakes, tech faster, so forth and so on. So... Oh, I got a bunch of guys who need help. If I can get up here without dying. There we go. Heal this guy up. Yeah. So I have a hard time with the Tau. Even the Tau computer, it's like... If you let them get away with the game just sitting back and building shit up, they're going to steamroll over you. So I played one game, lost horribly, played a second game, and did a lot better where I was basically in their base, harassing them the whole time to where they couldn't really amass anything. They were just dealing with my annoying harassment. And then I had them on the ropes, and I still lost. They somehow used all their fucking infinite resources to mount a comeback. And I didn't micro my guys good enough, and... Yeah. Didn't micro them good enough. Lost a bunch of dudes, and lost again. And then in the third game, I just fucked them up mercilessly. It was like no more Mr. Nice Guy. Oh, this fucking guy behind us. So I just built double Banshees, Howling Banshees, and teched up to Wraith Lords, and I never left their base. I stayed inside, killing every unit that spawned and beating the ever-loving shit out of them from start to finish, so I finally got my victory. What's on the horizon is the new Dawn of War game. Dawn of War 4, right? So there's Dawn of War 2. Dawn of War 2 was very different from Dawn of War. It's more like Company of Heroes, if you've ever played that RTS, where it's very focused around squads. The squads are worth a lot. Losing guys off of the squads is not preferable, but losing a whole squad is even worse. So instead of having like masses of disposable infantry, you have precious units that you want to utilize and keep alive as much as possible. That's kind of how Dawn of War 2 feels, and then it's much more focused on controlling the points. Rather, it seems like it is. If you really look at how Dawn of War actually plays, the first one, in practice as opposed to in theory, if you don't turn off take and hold victory, it's almost kind of the same thing. Because you need to go control the critical locations so that you can start putting pressure on your opponent to fight for them. Once you have 2 critical locations and your opponent has, less or none, you'll start getting a victory countdown in Dawn of War. And that's basically the same thing as in Dawn of War 2, except the control points are emphasized. And they de-emphasize annihilation victories. They are possible, but it's much harder to just wipe out the enemy's base than it is to achieve a take and hold sort of victory in Dawn of War 2. Lagging out again. So even though they look cosmetically different and they feel different in the level of frantic sort of gameplay, then they play more or less. They're not that different. They have more in common than they do separating them. Dawn of War 3, I never played. It got terrible reviews. Everybody hated it. It was attempting to capitalize off of being the Dota League of Legends multiplayer online battle arena craze. They tried to lean into that, and I think it hurt the game. Let's go, Demo Knight. Now's your time. Now's your time. Oh, we won without you. We won without you doing anything. So I can't speak to Dawn of War 3. Never played it. Probably never will. It might be good. It might not, but I heard enough about it that it made me skip it. Oh, let's keep this out and let's just go to crits. So, now we have Dawn of War 4 on the horizon. When they released Dawn of War Definitive Edition, it was a hit. People bought it. I was playing, almost a 20-year-old game online with multiple people playing. It wasn't hard to find games. It wasn't hard to find opponents. It was like Dawn of War was back, baby. And so shortly after that, they announced Dawn of War 4. And I think like the huge success of Dawn of War Definitive Edition put them in a position to say, hey, this is a really valuable property and we've got a lot that we can do with this. Let's get moving on the sequel. So I think a new company saw the success of Dawn of War Definitive Edition. I don't know the name of the company making Dawn of War 4. I feel like part 1 was... I don't know if it was Relic. Maybe it was Relic, but I feel like somebody bought it in the sequel, Dawn of War 2. Dawn of War 4 looks great. From what I can see, the battles, the graphics, the user interface, the way it's laid out, all of your units have a card at the bottom of the screen so you can easily click on them or find where they are or switch to them, transition to... Oh, is this guy a spy? So, as far as being a manageable, playable game with a minimal amount of frustration and trying to actually just select, find, click your units, Dawn of War 4 looks really good. Graphically, it looks really good. I don't know how machines are going to handle it, or if newer machines are going to do it great and older machines are going to struggle. I don't know, but it looks graphically really great. I think it will play better than any of the other ones so far. Man, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just stayed back and given my heavy the uber charge, but he was stupid. He didn't realize they were building a sentry right there in the doorway, and I thought maybe I could take my needle gun and kill it really quick before it got built up. But then two dudes came around the corner and fucked me, so it didn't work out the way I planned. Let's see. The thing that concerns me about Dawn of War 4 is that there aren't any factions that I really give a shit about in it. There's Space Marines, there's Orcs, which I like Orcs, so I might just play Orcs. Space Marines, Orcs, Necrons, and the Adeptus Mechanicus. I could not fucking care less about the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are just another reskinned Imperium faction, and there's nothing about them that's significantly different for me to warrant having two Imperium factions. You know, unless you were going to have the Sisters of Battle, I could understand. Because the Sisters look all ecclesiarchal and shit, and they have girls. They have canonesses and, what do you call them? Damn it, what are their big damage dealers? Celestines, yeah. They have all these cool looking units that make them distinct enough from the Space Marines that, you know, I wouldn't consider them just another Imperium faction. But the Adeptus Mechanicus doesn't. It's just a bunch of fucking robot guys in hoods and cloaks and all their Imperium ass looking machines. So, I need to stay back. This guy sucks, but he's the only person around. I gave him all those crits, and he didn't do shit. He had a sword out for half the time. So, you know, I like all the factions that are in the game as like, they're kind of cool, or they... Oh, this is a fucking spy. Took me forever to kill that spy. I don't know if he was cheating or he had a shitload of overheal, or if I was missing him. I don't know shit. I don't know shit about nothing. The big concern or big gripe that I have with Dawn of 4 is not really with anything mechanically or graphically. It's that I think the factions that they have are boring. I think the starting factions for Dawn of War 4 are about as vanilla as it gets, and there's no Eldar, there's no Tau, there's no, what do you call it? No Dark Eldar, no Chaos. Like, you're gonna have two Imperium factions and no Chaos? So, that's weird. And the thing is, we know all of these things are coming. We know all of these groups are gonna be in the game eventually. But so, like, when I look at, there's like a pre-purchase for Dawn of War 4, right? I think it's like $59 or $60. And then there's like an $89 special edition that's got a year pass. And it adds a new faction. They don't say what it is yet. But it's going to add more to the Blood Ravens campaign. So who fucking cares? And then it's going to add another faction. And we don't know who that faction is. So right away, I'm like, all right, they're going to be doing this predatory shit where they piecemeal out every fucking faction to us and nickel and dime us to death. By releasing overpriced expansions and DLCs that add, I don't know, every little faction one by one. And it's like Dawn of War 1, before you had any expansions. You had Space Marines, you had Orcs, you had Chaos, you had Eldar. Who else? I think that was it. Very quickly, you had an expansion that added the Imperial Guard. In Dark Crusade, the Necrons in the Tower added, so you got 2 for 1. And then in Soulstorm, the Sisters and the Dark Eldar were added. And if you just buy the Definitive Edition, then you have all that shit. You have like 8 factions you can pick from, right? Dawn of War 4, you got 4 factions you can pick up, and 2 of them are Imperium, and so they just fucking look exactly the same to me. Bunch of Imperial shit. And then you can just pay a boatload extra and you'll get this year pass that updates the... One of the things that I think that they're trying to do in Dawn of War 4 is emphasize single player and campaign play. And if you like that shit, more power to you. But to me, the entirety of Dawn of War has mostly been like a PvP kind of thing. So that worries me because it feels like they're moving away from the core of what makes the game what it is. I'm not going to play any of the campaign. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not playing none of that shit. I'm not sitting through a dumb, boring-ass story where I beat up easy computers with a bunch of little guys. Like, that's not the game to me. So I'm not going to play that at all. It's the focus of the entire expansion, and I'm not interested in it whatsoever. So that gives me concern. But I don't think that that's going to be as relevant as a problem unless I get Spider-Man Ford and everybody in the fucking world besides me loves this dumbass campaign PvE bullshit. And they go, wow, it worked. We really figured out what people wanted. And then I never get anything I want out of the game ever again because they spend the rest of the entire franchise catering to people who like something different than what the game is. So I'm concerned about that. It's happened to me before. It'll happen again, I'm sure. But I think mostly the game is going to be good enough and compelling enough. And nobody wants to sit there and watch you play your little fucking story campaign on live stream. They can do that themselves. I think what's going to drive the game is that it's going to be compelling and interesting to watch. I still watch Dawn of War 1 matches. I still watch Dawn of War 2 games being casted. Where are you at, homie? I want to give these guys crit bombs, but they're just fucking around. Get a few bombs. None of these guys are playing Demo Man correctly, so I can't do shit, but we were fortunate that we got our charge built up again right away. Just gonna start bombing fools, but we got blown up ourselves. We got one big explosion from the crits, though, so that was cool, and we can see our guy still has crit bombs all over the wall, so... I hope Dawn of War 4 is good. I'm looking forward to it. It'll probably be a day 1 buy for me just to play, and I'll probably just suck it up and play Space Marines for the time being so that I can get into it. I've always liked Space Marines okay. They're probably my favorite Imperium faction. I like Sisters of Battle a whole lot. I like the Inquisition and the Grey Knights and stuff a whole lot too. So the quicker they add that stuff, the better for me. I don't give a fuck about the Adeptus Mechanicus. They're okay. I don't have anything against them, but they're not like... I don't want them to be a whole fucking starting faction in the game. That's like a team you add on the 3rd or 4th expansion when you're out of shit to do and you need to fucking come up with something else that people will actually enjoy. So... I think there's much better choices they could have made besides Space Marines and AdMech and Necrons and Orcs, but I might play Space Marines, I might play Orcs. I've always liked the orcs and wanted to learn them. But the thing about there we go. Fuck them up, buddy. The thing about Dawn of War is I feel like the factions, and maybe I'm wrong in this, but they are difficult to master, and so I just like one-trick the Eldar, basically, and try to learn their playstyle and try to learn their matchups against every group and every faction. Rather than having a bunch of factions that I play poorly, I try to play the Eldar as best as I can, and to prepare for cheese and counters and things that people do to sort of eke out easy wins against unexperienced players. I feel like I have a decent grasp. Oh shit! I feel like I have a decent grasp on a lot of that for the Eldar, so I mostly stick with them. I like them the best, and I prefer to play them, and I like their aesthetic, their design, their vehicles, their lore. I like a lot of stuff about the Eldar. So I just play them pretty much every time because it's comfortable and I know I'm going to give a good performance. I'm going to put up a good fight. I'm going to give the opponent a run for their money, and there's a 50-50 chance I'm going to win. Depending on who I'm playing, that percentage might go down. Like if I'm against the Tau, it's harder. Necrons are tough but not beatable. They're tough but beatable is what I mean to say. They're hard, but you can win if you know what you're doing. Orcs as well are strong in the early game, especially against the Eldar, because they can just melee everything you do. But after that, if you can get to tier 2 fast enough, you really start to fuck the orcs up in tier 2. And then the Farseer's Eldritch Storm just wrecks all their buildings and shit unless they change that. Like, orc buildings are so flimsy. This guy's like wasting all of his shit and not using. We didn't get a single kill from that Kritzkrieg, so it was a waste to put it on that stupid idiot. He just basically stood there with a glowing gun doing nothing the whole time. Let's see. Let's see if we can stop this real quick. Oh, we can't. They've given up. We've already teleported back. We had 10 seconds to stall the card, and they just fucking gave up and fell back to the second point. We could have won right there, but now we're doing this. We don't have any teammates to heal. We're just going to go get full health and full ammo and try to wait for the teams to reset. So, I think I'm going to enjoy Dawn of War 4, but I have some reservations. It doesn't look perfect. They made some stupid mistakes with the factions that they picked. I don't think they're going to be as popular as they thought. And I think the game is still going to be popular. I think a lot of people are hyped and excited for it. So I don't think my reservations are going to affect how well it does as a game. And then I need a soldier. But I can't get up to this guy. Okay, maybe I can. We're going to sneak through real quick. We're going to sneak through. Fuck it. Okay, we made it. I want to find this soldier, and now he's gone. He got killed. Let's just give it to this guy before we die and lose it. He's a fucking idiot. He didn't even realize that there was a demo man blowing us up from the... What do you call it? The balcony on the left up above us. So he was just letting us eat shit while he did nothing. He didn't get any kills. He didn't really do anything significant. But maybe we acted as a deterrent at the very least. Yeah, you all suck. Quit calling for medic, you fucking losers. It's your stupid Tide Turner I can see equipped. Means you don't have a sticky bomb launcher. Oh shit, there's a bunch of guys right here. So I have a concern about the monetization of how that Dawn of War is going to play out. Keep this guy alive as long as I can. Sorry, buddy. I tried. But overall, I think Dawn of War 4 is going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Just give me the fucking Eldar. Don't do this shit where it's Necrons, Imperium, Imperium Orcs. We don't need fucking double Imperium factions in the launch. We need a diversity of factions and play styles and character models and cool tanks to look at and different strategies to try and figure out. This guy's doing pretty good with this Dragon's Fury. Yeah, I'm trying to heal you, buddy. There we go. We got him. Get this guy healed up. Let's move up into this little secondary mini base. We can help these guys hold it. We're at an 80% charge. As soon as this guy, as soon as we get full, we'll give it to this degreaser. Okay, we helped him break that. That's cool. And we got blown up. We're kind of on their side where all their team's at, and they surrounded us, but that guy did a good job. He got the sentry gun and he got a kill. I can't complain about that. That's two big objectives completed on a crits, so good on them. As far as other things that I'm planning on doing and streaming about, I have a good friend, Dravidius, over at the Storyteller's Vault, and he talks a lot about games that we both played growing up, like Vampire the Masquerade is a tabletop role-playing game where you take on the role of a blood-drinking creature of the night, but you also exist in kind of a mafia-type setting where, you know, there's lots of factions and families and clans of vampires, and they have a, you know, a formal sort of way that they do things, and sort of politics to it. It's very Machiavellian. Yeah, we got them. Good job, team. Good job. They pushed it pretty far, but they couldn't get us. So in that setting where Vampire the Masquerade takes place, there's like an umbrella setting called the World of Darkness. All right? So there's the World of Darkness, and then Vampire the Masquerade is nested within that, if you think about that, as sort of the flagship title. After the success of Vampire the Masquerade, they came up with other things, like other supernatural style settings, like Werewolf the Apocalypse, I think, was the big sequel. And it was a very, very, very different game than Vampire the Masquerade. It didn't seem to focus on the same things at all. It was more spiritual, whereas I would describe it was more spiritual and new age. It leaned into the werewolves as tribes and not dissimilar from Native American tribes, and there are 3 Native American sort of powerhouse factions in Werewolf the Apocalypse, but it's not quite the same thing. Vampire the Masquerade you could probably describe as gothic punk. I think that's how it describes itself, which means there's a gothic horror element and then there's a punk element, and that's basically a way of describing how it's distrustful, it's cynical, it's distrustful of institutions. It has this take that, you know, corporations, government, religions, all of these things are really kind of full of shit. At least in their main sort of monolithic versions. There might be some truth to them. There might be, you know, secret hidden things that you don't know about or that don't seem readily obvious, but like the big front-facing version of all of those institutions is corrupt. And that's kind of the punk element to it. So Vampire the Masquerade is a gothic horror setting with a punk sort of worldview, I guess is the way you could look at it. Werewolf is more of like a... It's like, what if crunchy new age granola hippies who cared about Gaia and Captain Planet and all of that could turn into bloodthirsty monsters that are basically the strongest single kind of creature in the world of darkness. Like, nothing really takes on a werewolf one for one in the world of darkness. You can, you know, use their weaknesses, their silver bullets, so to speak, and you can gang up on them for sure. But a lone werewolf, like, starting character on its own can give a 5th generation elder vampire problems and maybe kill them. So that's kind of the differences. It feels like a very different game. You know, I try to tell people, like, the ideal version of Werewolf the Apocalypse is your rage-filled monsters against trauma villains, like Nukem High, evil corporations that want to turn people into fucking alien demon monsters by exposing them to horrible experiments and possessing them with evil spirits that corrupt and manipulate their bodies and souls. Those are the enemies of Werewolf. Just the vilest, most disgusting, try to charge this up as quick as possible. So we blew it at the end, being jokey. Yep. There you go. Keep calling medics, stupid. That guy's got a crit, so that's kind of cool. Have to find a way to get out of this. Is anybody actually up here pushing? Hell no. Alright, we got it, we got it. We're just going to try to get our Uber charge built up. We're almost at 9,100. We're almost at 9,100 here, folks. There we go. Let's just get out here and push this a little bit. Fuck these guys. We don't have to be afraid of them. We got a needle gun and we don't have to take shit off of nobody. I'm just staying crouched so it's harder to target me, but... Oh, shit. Good job. Oh, this monstrous lag is going to kill me by making me stand still. So, they did Vampire the Masquerade. Werewolf the Apocalypse was the second nested setting in the World of Darkness. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Mage came next. And Mage, the Ascension, is sort of my deal more than anything else. It's less focused on an apocalypse or cynical crime or... sorry, I had to focus for a second there. It's less focused on the the darker elements and more focused, although they're there, more focused on the aspirational elements. And I think that that's what's going to sell me on anything in the long run, is whether or not it's something that is meant as a story of fighting for hope, fighting for control, resisting evil, resisting corruption, resisting the monolithic structures that dominate and poison our world. That is more the deal with Mage, and that's probably why it speaks to me more. So I have a lot of the Mage books, and there's some that I can get on PDF by way of Drive-Thru RPG. They're not that expensive because they're very old books now. So we're probably going to do a stream at some point where I pull those books up to where you guys can view them. And then we go through sort of what makes the game great and sort of what I like about it the most, why it matters to me, and why I think it should matter to people in the modern day. Mage the Ascension opened me up to a way of thinking about the world and seeing the world that I had never seen before. I was kind of locked into, not locked into, but I had an eclectic blend of sort of Western American, I guess they would be considered conservative values now, because they were, you know, my family was Christian, but they didn't go to church. Not my dad, at least anyway. My grandparents did, and my grandmother was a Quaker, so her church was a Quaker church, and it was fine. It just had that going on with it. If you know anything about the Quakers, they're generally pretty good people. They helped the slaves escape during the sort of antebellum times. They would protect and help slaves, so I've always been cool with the Quakers. I've always been happy that if I come from a line of people as such as that they're actually good and upstanding and sort of principled, and their principles have always kind of aligned with mine. Yep, you were my protection and you flew away like a stupid asshole, so I just had to Uber charge. We gotta back up. There's an Uber charge coming in. So, but Mage sort of showed me, like, hey, there's a whole, like, wide variety of different people with different beliefs, different cultures, different abilities, and that we're all on the same side against a couple of common enemies, right? And those common enemies are the death-worshipping cults of the Nefandi, who only want to see reality destroyed. They want to sort of end the world or the universe or whatever, because they all have different various reasons. So they're really just interested in corruption, subversion, destruction. That's pretty much the Nefandi. The Nefandi are the evil bad guys of the Mage setting, in that they are associated with sort of entropy and what the werewolves would call the worm, the destructive force, the corrupting force, the force that makes things sick, the force that breaks things down, the force that determines fate and luck and is also kind of an inevitable end to things, right? And then on the other hand, you have the technocracy. And a lot of people want to paint the technocracy as good guys because they love science. We have a culture of science worshippers who, you know, think Carl Sagan is the fucking next coming of Jesus and can sort of hear no problems or criticisms of any standard mainstream scientific shit, which is really a lot of, well, it's complicated. I'll explain my thoughts on modern scientific institutions at another time, but Suffice to say, they kind of line up with the way that Mage views them. And in Mage, the technocracy is more akin to like what the Nazis envisioned for a technologically ruled society, or what Peter Thiel or these other weirdos, these other freaks that have $10 billion and that want to control how the world works, subject it to their strange, bizarro views that are out of touch with everyday people. The technocracy is one of those things that would just view people as a means to an end, not as an end unto themselves, so they could just be exploited as resources. And there's people in our world who look at things like that now. So this is not, to me, the villains of Mage represent real-world villains that we have to deal with. They represent real-world forces that we all find ourselves at the mercy of. And so, to me, it's really just the most appealing setting, and I look forward to covering it in detail, maybe doing a team up with Dravidius to discuss it some, or to discuss RPGs more in general. I think that would be cool. Yeah, my friend just sent me a funny image, Evil Ugg. You might see him at some point on these streams, and hopefully we can team up with him too. He's been kept very busy by his work because he works with a bunch of lazy-ass incompetent people that call out all the time, and they expect him to cover it on his days off and on his vacation days and bend over backwards and work himself to death, which he does. So let's jump in another game. We've been going for a little while. We've been going for 47 minutes now. It's not bad. So, yeah, Mage the Ascension, my favorite World of Darkness game. If you could put a gun to my head and told me I could only play one ever again, probably would just play Mage and get rid of all the rest. There are some interesting other games, though, like Wraith the Oblivion, which is a ghost. You're the ghost in this one. So you can be a vampire in Vampire the Masquerade. You can be a werewolf in the Apocalypse. You can be a mage in the Ascension, or you can be a wraith. And Wraith is interesting, but it has never had wide appeal, and I understand why, because you're fucking dead. Like, where does your character go when you're dead already? Like, it's kind of, your story's already over. Let's go Pyro. Try to spam at these guys a little bit with the flare gun. Oh, I got somebody. There we go. We got it. Or somebody did. I got run over by a train. Damn it. Oh, I feel like a David Allan Coe song right now. Wow, dummies, go stand on the point. How hard is it? I see like 8 of you standing around looking through scopes like complete fucking idiot losers. Just one of you go stand on the point. I'm not waiting for the next round. I kind of was looking forward to playing this map because I like it, but we came in at the end after our dum-dum team had already lost. Basically, once you're to that point where the enemy's knocking on your door, people start jumping off the ship like rats because they don't want to lose, and then you get dropped into a team that's like 10 seconds away from losing the game, and you're like, well, fuck my life. Wraith is interesting. There's a lot of different kinds of Wraiths that you can be. They have lots of different little kinds of Wraith powers called, well, an individual one is called an Arcanos, and multiple are Arcanoi. They really should have found a different name. That shit's unnecessarily difficult to pronounce. They could have just called it something else. Arcanois. Arcanoi. Stadium Arcanium. Oh, I almost just dropped off the edge of the map. I thought that it kind of wrapped around there, but it didn't. I'm waiting here for some people to turn the corner, and then I'm going to set them on fire. We got that guy. Put a little bit of damage on him. I'm trying to blow this guy off the edge. Sayonara. We got him, but we got killed by something else. Smiley Sunday. Let's see. We talked about some Dawn of War. We talked about some World of Darkness and some Mage the Ascension. One of the few things that I would be interested to see in these newer editions, 5th edition, 6th edition. This is not going to be for 5th edition because that shit's already come and gone for World of Darkness. But it would be for perhaps 6th edition if it does well enough. We could maybe get a Mage game, and I think Mage probably lends itself to these newer editions better than Vampire does, because I have a very specific kind of way that I want to play Vampire the Masquerade. I just call it Tarantino Vampires. It's basically, you know, I'm going to play a Batman villain, and I'm going to pretend I'm in a Quentin Tarantino movie, and that's how we're going to play the game. More or less. Oh, I just ran past. Try to get down here to some health. I don't think we got that guy, but we'll just sort of go back and hope we can clear this before we get sniped. Oh, shit, there was a sniper right in front of my base. Not even lined up with me, but standing at my spawn. I shouldn't have said. I jinxed myself by talking about snipers. So yeah, if V6 Vampire the Masquerade 6th edition takes off and ends up being a success, they're going to try to capitalize off of that success, and they're going to make the other games. And I think Mage has a strong chance to be among them. It's kind of weird how even though I saw the crit bullets, I should have just not gone in. I think Mage has a strong chance of being one of those games that could be good in the new system. Get double donked, bitch. Get some donk up in ya. Some badonk. A donk. So maybe that will be good. If they come out with a 6th edition of Mage, I'll give it a chance. I have the editions that I want. I have 2nd and revised edition of Mage, and then I have a big, expensive-ass 20th edition book. And I have like a Mage 20th anniversary edition that I spent like $100 on and waited for, seemed like 10 fucking years for it to finally be released, but they eventually got around to it. I've never used it once, except to look through it. The game is so easy to run out of the core rulebooks, which I still have for 2nd edition and revised edition, that I'm just pretty much going to probably use those anytime I need to run a game, because I have a lot of the lore and extra things for Mage internalized. I don't need to go through a book to know about it. Yeah, so I'd probably give 6th edition Mage a shot. I'm less likely to do so with Vampire because I don't feel like it doesn't do the version of the game that I want as well, which is Tarantino vampires, a lot of ultra violence, a lot of I don't know, cool character moments. in a dark sort of... Yeah, I guess gothic punk is okay. I like the gothic punk setting. It tends to be more of a violent crime story when I play. Preferably, anyway. Altitude. I like this map. I haven't been here in a while. So let's see what we can do. First thing I'm going to do is get in and look, we don't have shit. I could go medic. We'll probably just go demo man again. Yep. I'm using the loose cannon. It fires cannonballs. You can charge it up. Their fuse time continues while you're charging. So if you hold it down too long, it'll blow up right in your face. But you can kind of use this to pop little explosions at people. The best thing to do, though, is to hit them with this cannonball, and it'll create a donk effect where they're... Well, we tried, but nobody was on our team, and the enemy team got a chance to just go in and steamroll the first point before we even had players joining. So now we're defending B, the second point, which is over here, and that soldier just stole our fucking health. Stupid asshole. Stupid asshole, stupid asshole, stupid asshole, stupid asshole, stupid assholes. This game's full of them, though. If you're looking for a game that doesn't have any stupid assholes, I suggest you keep on looking. You are going to be sorely disappointed. We did about 2 hours on the Final Fantasy Tactics stream this weekend. I got through basically what amounts to the intros and the first 3 major battles. You do one right at the start, and then you do one you do one right at the start that's kind of a future prologue little thing. And then you go back in time to when you were kids and you play, you know, at the real start, basically. I can't even tell all of the directions that I'm being shot from. So, got a double donk and killed him. I think we're doing all right here. Ooh, just shot a crit. Backstabbed by a spy while I was calling for medic. So if you're interested in Final Fantasy Tactics, or you like that game, or you just want to see a playthrough of it, we got a couple hours on our live stream where we got through the first 3 sort of major battles, and the next time we play, we're going to be at the point where we kind of really start playing the game, where we kind of really start customizing out our classes and facing enemies on the world map, and I feel like I hit somebody with the donk, but the first motherfucker, Oedipus, killed me with his sentry gun. The first motherfucker, Oedipus. I mean, it's a fun name, but I don't understand it. Oedipus is not the first anything. He's a guy who killed his dad and fucked his mom. I don't think he was the first to do that either. So, what are you the first at, Oedipus? You're the first motherfucker, but what's your claim to fame? Oh. I didn't really know where to go or what I was doing. I was trying to find a health pack to not be on fire, then I fell through onto the control point and kind of accidentally blocked that guy from capping until I died. That was Drake from State Farm. I just watched him fall off of the edge to his death. Oh, I'm lagged and I'm stuck standing here like a dumb asshole. Like a dumb asshole, I'm standing here. There's a sentry up the stairs now. This is going to make it a lot harder to defend. Alright, now it's gone. Let's just make sure we nade that shit up. We finally got that guy. We're probably going to die in the process, but we did get him. The first motherfucker, Oedipus. Got our revenge. Yeah, so going back, I forget what I'm talking about in the middle of these matches. Go watch some Final Fantasy Tactics. It's a great game. It's beautifully animated. It is, of all the Final Fantasy games, it is the most that is actually a game. Like, it has strategy. You have to set things up right. You have to do all of your builds correctly. You have to... It's like a game, whereas most Final Fantasy games are just picking stuff off of a menu with a finger cursor. And that's pretty much what they consist of. Okay, we've got them pushed back to right here, it looks like. Oh shit, a scout! It's hard for us to fight scouts. As a demo man, a good scout is going to act like a kind of counter to you because you don't really have a good way to deal with him. Got somebody. It was a team up with a sniper, but it still counts. Got a double donk right there. Feels good, man. I'm getting so lucky on these critical hits. But I'm getting unlucky on having ammo. There we go. We should be back to full. Let's get back up into it and try to stall these guys from winning the game. Try to get this guy out of here. Oh shit, there's a bunch of guys. Got two people. They fell for it. The old sticky bomb around the corner trap. Works every time. Reach for the sky. We're kind of hanging in there. We're getting it. This guy has an Uber charge. He wants to give it to somebody, I bet. Alright, all we really got to worry about is keeping him off at this point. So we'll get that bombed up. We'll reload our gun. Go ahead and get all the ammo that we need for this last 10 seconds because they're going to try like a mofo. There we go. I think we got it. That's it. Got him. He was trying to run away, but you can't escape the double donk. Now we got to push. So, first thing I look, we don't have any medics. Let's just go medic it up. It'd be much easier to push with Uber charges. This is a fun map. I like this map. I can't see what it's called. I should know by now. Alpine, I think, but I'm not sure. It's good. It's a cool map. I like this one. Good attack and defend map. It's very interesting. There's a lot of interesting terrain. There's only like a couple of ways to get into the points, but they create cool angles, and it's really fun whether you're attacking or defending. So big props to this map. Just asking in the chat. Maybe somebody... Altitude is what it's called. Get him, Demo! We just want to do this to have a chance for the team to get out of the gate and be invincible without dying immediately. Oh, we just barely lived, so that was cool. But we gave him a little bit of room to push. Oh, that guy blew himself up before we could heal him, so let's just stand back and work on the old Uber charge. Ye old Uber charge. Let's see. What else? So, I've taken a step back from pop culture because I hate it all. And so it's kind of limited the sort of things that come up with in my feed, you know, like it's a more narrow... Where the fuck is this guy even at? Screaming medic. I can't see him. He's always standing behind me. It's sort of limited the kind of things that come up in my feed, and definitely limited the amount of things that I talk about on a regular sort of basis on the stream. You know, because I'm just not talking about fucking Batman or Superman or Spider-Man or the things that I'm disappointed constantly in by... You're getting this charge, buddy. Let's do it. It's all you. At least he has sticky bombs. Good on him. Good on him. Good on him. Good on him. This guy rules. This guy rules. I got juggled up in the air by some stupid pyro, but he did a good job. Got to give it to that guy. So, I'm getting a lot more gaming stuff in my feeds, which is preferable to me. I love, especially indie games. There's so many good things. Like, people can complain about AAA games being overpriced garbage that scam you with microtransactions, but indie games have been good for years, and that's mostly what I play. Try to get away from this goddamn fucking pyro. He's always behind me somehow. Get frustrated with this shit. This is like we only have a minimum amount of people on our team, and there's not enough offense. Look, we got the full fucking amount. So what's going on? Like, I thought maybe our team was imbalanced or something like that. Like they had more people than us. Sometimes that happens, especially if people quit out. But they're just sucking. There's no excuse. We're capping this now, so I need to stop complaining because they actually did a good job. They actually did a good job. Good job, team. I'm sorry for being a bitchy bitch. A bitchy little bitch who bitches and cries. Let's reload it up. Let's heal this guy. Let's heal this guy. Sassy Berg, you're doing the Lord's work as a medic. We want to try to push over. Oh, there's a bunch of guys right there. Fuck off, sword loser. Fucking shoot you with needles until you're dead. Yeah, I hear you. Doing the best I can, Captain. We want to push in with these guys because they're probably going to Uber, and we just want to have all the momentum we can get. Yes, 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 let's go. And we can help them. We can fucking come in here and create chaos and smash all this shit. And stand on the point. Got him, got him, got him. There's engineer dropping in on us. Get this guy healed up, our fellow medic. Pyro's trying to air blast us out. Let's make sure this guy lives. We're already doing better than the previous team that we held them at this point. So good job for us. There we go. This guy's... I like him. Oh, I don't like this guy, though. I don't like that guy either. Sassyberg with his cool Sherlock Holmes pipe. Putting in work as a medic. That's who we were healing before, this Crowhine guy. He did a good job. Can't complain about him. Got old Sassyberg. Let's do one good thing for another and heal each other up. That's what good medics do. Heal up the other medics. We got you, buddy. Even though you're a sniper, I'll heal you. I'll still heal you. The lowest form of life is a sniper, but I'll give you some heals because I'm a team player. This is Team Fortress. There's no I in Team Fortress, but there is an F. So, fuck them. They look like they don't have that much, but I can hear a sentry gun down there chirping like a fucking fire alarm that hasn't had its battery changed. Oh, there it is. There we go. We got it. He was forced to pick it up and move it, so that buys us a little bit of time. Oh, we got it! This guy is doing good. We're going to try to save him, but he wasn't reacting fast enough to the rain of hellfire that was coming down upon us. I don't know why my fucking needles weren't hitting that guy. He should have been running into them as he chased me, but for some reason I wasn't getting any damage sounds. I call cheating shenanigans. Anytime you're losing in this game, or somebody does better than you or beats you, it's cheating. They're not good, they're not better, they're cheating. So just say that every time and you'll always have the proper excuse. Is this guy a fucking spy? I'm not leading my shot far enough, that's what it was. Well, I was kind of hoping that we would break through in that push that came right before this, but it looks like we fucked around and they've had plenty of time to set things back up. Gotta watch out for this pyro. Oof, this is annoying. It's really hard to deal with somebody just fucking W mouse 1 running at you, especially if there's constantly doing it. Being set on fire is one of the most aggravating goddamn things in this game, because it constantly gives you like panic noises that worry you and you're like, oh, I'm gonna die. You like have this, it's like in Sonic the Hedgehog when he's about to run out of breath and you hear that little fucking countdown song that starts driving you crazy. Please just live for a second, goddammit! I just needed 5 fucking percent. Why did... It's my fault. I shouldn't have followed him in. But it's like, I got 5%, you stupid asshole. Just wait 5 goddamn seconds and we'll be invincible. We had to charge in and get him. And then I fucking stupidly charged in after him and died. Some shithead up the hill firing at us. Okay, we got this guy. He must have taken care of him. So we're not going to be impulsive and follow these Death Wish dum-dums. We're just going to stay up here where it's nice and safe. Try to keep this guy alive. Here comes the fucking flame blower again, blowing everybody who's flaming. Let's see. There you go. Kill that guy, flame blower. Oh, never mind. You're both just gonna die. Alright, I'm fully charged. Let's see how I can die while holding this strongest ability in the game. Let's go, stupid. Come on. We just got to get over here and try to deal with this, since nobody else is turning around and looking behind them. It was just going to shoot us all in the fucking back, and it's like I can either stand there with an uber charge looking like an idiot waiting for it to run out and then we die, or I can pull out my medic gun and then we die trying to kill it. We got 1 minute to do this, and these guys are not. We're going to lose because they're not making it. I don't think we have enough time to even charge up a fucking Uber charge, so. It's not looking good, folks. You son of a bitch! This fucking guy is always behind me. I wish I could shove his head into a fucking toilet until he stopped breathing. Always this goddamn Pyro Decepticon Moss Leal, or whatever the fuck his name is behind me with his stupid flamethrower bullshit. Alright, we got 1 minute. This guy's getting it. This guy's getting it. He's got it. He's got it. I believe in him. Use the force. We have to keep moving because we have a scout behind us trying to fuck us up the butt. We're getting stupidly hit by these dumbass random crits. And there we go. We're going to lose. Because I don't have time to build up an Uber charge. We killed the gun, to their credit. But then a whole lot of people on our team have to pile in and stand on the point. And, okay, we don't have a bunch of snipers. I was going to blame it on snipers because I assumed anytime we have a bunch of people not getting on the point, it's because they're looking through a fucking scope. But it's actually spies. We have a bunch of spies this time. Who knows what the fuck they're even trying to do. Yep. This big fucking thing in the way because I always hit tilde key when I'm trying to press numbers instead of the tilde key. I just fat finger the fucking thing, and the stupid ass screen pops up in the way and makes me almost die every single time. So we succeeded on holding on our defense round, and then we lost on the pushing round, but we did push them all the way to the last point, which they did not do to us. We stopped them on the second point, so I guess thank God for small favors. Let's take a look. Hour and 18 minutes is not bad, and I'm pretty pissed off, so I'll probably stop right here before I get more frustrated. But those are the things that we're looking forward to. Dawn of War 4. Going to try to do some Mage the Ascension streams. If you're interested in tabletop RPGs, we'll talk about the game, and maybe I can talk some friends into playing one sometime. Do a let's play of that. In the meantime, we have Final Fantasy Tactics. We're going to do that on the weekend, 2 or 3 hours at a time if we can manage, just to get through chunks of the game. And then on the weekend, I did a bonus sort of late night live stream of Civ 6. I needed something that's even more relaxing and turn-based than even RimWorld. So if you're interested in Civ 6, I do have a bonus stream of that up, and go on over and leave a comment if you like it. I'll continue it, but it's usually just something that I was doing so that I didn't have to be all hot and sweaty and fucking racking my brain at midnight when I'm too tired to play but not tired enough to go to sleep. So those are the things that we kind of have going on right now. If I can get any more dual streams set up with my friends, Dravidius or Evil Ugg, then we're going to do that. So stay tuned for what's coming, and if you've been watching, I hope you enjoyed it.